All right, welcome to another Crypto Spinter podcast. So, I just want to announce at the very start, I mentioned a Excel sheet that would be done soon, but an event happened on Monday, shortly after the podcast, personal event, and I was pretty much out for Monday and Tuesday. So, everything's good now, but expect the .1 version of that spreadsheet tomorrow, and I think I'll transfer it to a Google spreadsheet. So we're gonna look out for that late Friday. And now on to the news. First up, South Korea to inspect 6 banks over virtual cryptocurrency accounts. So the South Korean authorities are ensuring banks are following laws, and they're trying really to reduce speculation and possible money laundering. They're kind of validating the KYC that these banks are using to make sure they got, the real names of users like they're supposed to. These specific virtual accounts are estimated to be worth around 1.8 billion. And South Korea hounding of crypto might be due to an increase of crypto investments, while a decrease in investments of traditional assets in the country. There's also one little thing about how people are really panicking over South Korea raids and all that. However, the reality of the situation is they're just ensuring exchanges are compliant, and they're gathering tax information mainly. They aren't destroying Bitcoin trading or whatever people have been rumoring about. So just keep that in mind. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. CoinMarketCap excludes South Korean prices. Related to the above, CoinMarketCap has dropped showing Korean exchanges because, of course, if you've been looking at it, they've been selling at a premium, and this caused the market to drop about 50 billion. So people really panicked once these Korean markets were dropped because they thought the market itself was just dying instantly. And obviously, your portfolios have been down mostly across the board, unless you've been holding primarily just Ethereum. But the correction had to come, and here we are. Will we see lower prices? Who knows right now? There's a lot of weird news going on, and this is kind of time where you need to have your hand on that trade button. Speaking of trading, trade accounts are selling for thousands of dollars. So because limited registration, people are really trying to buy exchange accounts on forums, mainly Bitcoin Talk. This carries a danger because there's still a chance that the person can do malicious things or not actually give you the account, basic scam things. But these accounts like Bittrex and Binance and all that have been going for a couple $1,000s. So I think the main factor here is the fact that these exchanges aren't giving it time frames to where people can register again. So people might think it'll be months before they can get in on crypto. So they're trying to get in right now on this guaranteed accounts that people are selling. The U.S. government set to sell seized bitcoins from dark web Racket. So the government seized a stash of coins about, I think it was March 2017, so right before the major jumps, and now it's grown to be worth around, I think, 10 million because it includes Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and the sell-off is soon. So expect the market to react to that. SEC suspends trading of Hong Kong blockchain firm stock. UBI blockchain has been suspended from trading, and the primary concerns are because of their recent filing and the market activity of the stock. If you've been following me, you know that SEC has been doing these suspensions almost weekly now, and there's no reason to not suspect that more will continue as all these weird circumstances of companies being blockchain and their stock just going radical for no reason. The Electrum wallet had a major vulnerability. So the vulnerability is patched in the newest version, but if you haven't updated your wallet, you're still vulnerable. Funny enough, it involves something I was talking very hard about last time, which is JavaScript. So this is a JavaScript vulnerability that involves you having a web page opened and people using a JavaScript exploit to capture the private keys of wallets that didn't have passphrases. So just remember, be careful where you're browsing, be careful of the links you click, because JavaScript poses a real danger to compromising your crypto stash. So be careful out there, and if you're really rich, you just might want to disable JavaScript or just get a completely bunk laptop to where you have JavaScript disabled and access your crypto through that one or something. Allegations surrounding Tron's white paper sparks Twitter backlash. So Tron's had a lot of weird Twitter backlash, a lot of weird Twitter action going on with Tron, especially on the side of the people defending Tron. So as you're listening to this, you probably know that Tron's price is down the dumps, and that might contribute to the fact that why people are piling on Tron, but people were against Tron from almost day one, if not day one. So the main argument here is people have gone through other coins of white papers and kind of saw how it was like a blank copy paste of a few other white papers without much substance to differentiate it. So you always have to be aware of coins that are thriving off social hype, because even if it turned out to be true or untrue, this doesn't matter considering how rumors and reactions really dominate this market right now. And coins with hype driven, usually are going to be the ones that suffer the most, and the ones that were most likely to have these kind of troubles from the very start. So look for coins with a bit more use cases or already have products out. Nvidia curbs data center GPU use, but crypto miners are excluded. So Nvidia has updated their terms of service barring using GPUs for data centers. However, mining is excluded. Personally, mining is probably excluded because it's very obvious how profitable mining operations are for the GPU industry. Probably one of the reasons Nvidia stepped this game up, since people used to always use AMD, but now the 1070 Ti is pretty good for mining. So it's kind of profit from mining and 100% the reason why crypto are excluded. But their wording for how they worded their new terms was operations that are benefiting to, I think it was blockchain maintenance or something. So it was a key way to say mining. Wall Street bonuses may start crypto buying spree of epic proportions. So there's speculation that when Wall Street bonuses hit bank accounts on the 15th, there will be a mass buying spree. Will that hold true? Who knows? But we'll see. And it will be very interesting to see, because I don't really think it will do that much to the market, because we have no reason to believe that will actually happen yet. but it'd be pretty good. The market definitely deserves some more entrants. JV Dimon regrets calling Bitcoin a fraud. So Dimon is retracting a lot of statements, and he's really accepting how useful blockchain and Bitcoin together can be good for the world. That's really all that needs to be said about that story. Next up is a very popular story again. Kodak, Kodak, the photography company, is launching a cryptocurrency for photographers. So this is just one of the many companies going into the blockchain sphere, apparently. Maybe they're doing this because they went bankrupt a couple years ago and see ICOs as the new hot thing to get a lot of upfront cash. Looks like they're trying to do it in the most compliant way, but who knows what kind of legal ramifications will hit all these companies that are doing pivots to the blockchain. And this is just getting ridiculous with all these pivots and blockchain stocks and all that. On a related note, Bitcoin ETF proposals are being withdrawn after SEC pushback. So we probably won't be seeing any ETF proposals anytime soon because they're being withdrawn left and right because there's a lot of pushback from the SEC. Frankly, I guess it's mainly because they feel it's still too volatile for all that and might lead to very bad circumstances for clients and such. And the fact that the market really kind of bled recently doesn't help the case of these ETF proposals. Report. So South Korea eyes doing crypto regulation with China and Japan. So I don't know if it was last time or the time before that, but I did mention how the only way to fully be able to police crypto is global, unified laws, rules and regulations globally. So the fact that these three countries are collaborating has like a regional lockdown though, because those are like some of the major Asian players, and this could be either really good or really bad. This could pave the way for China opening back up, or it could mean for the other two to start closing up more, because right now Japan's not the greatest, but it's still way better than Korea or China. China's the worst out of the three, and Korea's somewhere in the middle. But if the laws they eventually come into, if the laws they agree upon end up being too harsh, this might signal an end of Asian market dominance, especially the fact that a lot of miners are already leaving that area. Venezuela's planned Petro cryptocurrency deemed illegal by the Congress. So they really rejected this proposal, citing it as blatant corruption and forward selling of Venezuela's oil. This coin could also be made invalid as soon as Maduro leaves office. So a lot of tension there, and seems like this coin will not happen. However, there was no mention of the whole mining initiative and what come of that. So there's a little information there being left out in the situation. Overstock. Payment glitch has mixed up Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So it seems like Overstock has implemented the crypto payment wrong, and a bug hunter has found that he was able to send Bitcoin Cash instead of Bitcoin. So in theory, you could buy something worth $100 in Bitcoin, send Bitcoin Cash, and pay a fraction of the price. And the worst part of this is how, if you wanted a refund, you get refunded in Bitcoin. So in the end, they would lose more Bitcoin because they'd just be getting sent Bitcoin Cash. And I'm sure they wouldn't even be able to redeem the Bitcoin Cash either, which is the worst part. So they lose completely. But I think it's been halted and working on being fixed now. So that's good. Apparently Overstock was the only company that was using coin-based payments that was having this issue. So it was something on Overstock's end on implementing the payment system. Australia creates tax task force to monitor crypto traders. The task force is set to meet next month, and they're going to try to track crypto funds. So expect more of these types of things to rise as countries try to get their share of your crypto dollars. And which things like chain analysis, non-privacy coins like Bitcoin really has that risk of them pursuing you and being able to blatantly show that you own this and you will have to pay taxes in the future. And finally, Warren Buffett, cryptocurrencies will come to a bad ending. So there's obviously agreement here for part of it, because crypto definitely can come to a bad ending for some people, depending on how you play it. If you're taking out mortgages, sending out your life saving, doing any of that dumb stuff, then yeah, you're gambling away your life with doing that. If you're constantly pursuing the flavor of the month coin or the most FOMO coin either, you're probably more of gambling than doing anything and will probably have a bad time. However, expect a lot of winners to come from crypto too. People who stay smart and keep those iron hands can end up being major winners as more people get into crypto and more capital flows to grow the market. So it's not all doom and gloom just because Buffett thinks they're bad. And that'll be the end of this episode. Slightly early, but I'm slightly sick, and expect that spreadsheet tomorrow, late, middle, maybe afternoon or something like that. Expect an interview episode to be published Saturday. And don't forget to rate, review, do all that cool stuff. Helps me out. So, see you next week. It's a holiday, so I got a lot of time for a longer episode, more in-depth. Hopefully something cool happens this weekend to where I can just ramble on about it. So, see you Monday.